Time for Easy Rightsizing on KFOR FM 103.3 1240 AM. Good morning, and this is Dale Johnson. Getting ready for today's conversation with Janine Bryant of Changing Spaces SRS. I was reminded of a descriptive phrase, and my wife has heard this way too much. We're rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
Oh, I love that. Oh, my gosh.
Okay? We're taking something from here. We're moving it over there. What have we accomplished? All right? Why take all that time to move this stuff over there, that over here? Organizing clutter is still clutter. Mm-hmm. And you bring that theme to the table here, Janine. That's perfect. Janine Bryant. Good morning, Janine.
Good morning, Dale. I'm taking notes. I've not heard that phrase,
really?
And I love it.
My wife hears that all the time. All the time.
You know, it's so true, though. I mean, there's no sense in doing a job well that, quite frankly, shouldn't be done in the first place, right? And so that's what we're talking about this morning. Something that, you know, I work with seniors and their clutter, okay? And I think sometimes it's so easy to get we use our stuff as a distraction, and we focus on this little stuff, and we kind of lose sight of the big picture. And I think that we do that when we get all inspired. Maybe we see a show on television or we read an article in a magazine and we think, I'm going to get organized, you know, or we go to this beautiful store in Omaha. Have you guys been to this? The Container Store. It is so inspiring and it's fun. And that's like my heaven, okay, for someone like me. But you go to a place like the Container Store and you see all these cute bins and baskets and you think, I'm going to get organized. But there's no sense in organizing the crap in your house that you don't need in the first place, right?
Right.
So getting organized should always be sort of the last step in the right-sizing process. The first step is always, well, I think the first step is getting your mind in the right place. And then the second step is identifying what you have in your house and then culling out all the stuff that you don't need, use, or want in your house, because there's no sense in getting your camping equipment completely organized and beautifully put away if you haven't been camping in 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and, you know, another message that I have is that, you know, for example, that camping equipment, if you're not using it, boy, someone else in your community would love to put that camping equipment to use. So get it out of your house, bless someone else with it, and then you don't have to worry about organizing your camping equipment because it's not in your house anymore. So the first step is always to discard. Right now, for the last 3 weeks, Dale, I have been teaching a class through Southeast Community College. It's a continuing education class, and it's great. We have 10 students in the class, and every week we talk about this right-sizing process. And I told those students the first night, hey, this is not a class where I'm going to teach you how to get organized. I am going to teach you how to let go of the stuff that doesn't matter. And then the funny thing is, once you let go of that stuff that doesn't matter, then organizing it really isn't that hard. Okay? So if you think about your closet, for instance, okay, I have news for all of you listeners out there who think you don't have enough closet space. You don't need a bigger closet. You need fewer clothes. Okay, so if you look at your closet and you think, boy, I need some double hanging rods here and some baskets and some dividers, here's a thought. Instead of all that, what if we got rid of 50% of your clothing? Would you still have enough clothing to wear every day of the week so that you only had to do laundry once a week? I bet you would. There's only 7 days in the week, people. Okay? Just think, if you got rid of half of your clothing, organizing that closet would be so much easier. If you got rid of half of your kids' toys, organizing those toys would be a lot easier. If you got rid of half of those papers in your filing cabinet, filing your papers wouldn't be nearly as overwhelming. Okay, so that is always the first step, is discarding the stuff that doesn't matter. Don't get distracted by organizing the stuff and making it look pretty when it shouldn't be there in the first place.
That's the easiest part. People derive a good feeling from ... fill in that blank. A good feeling from moving a deck chair from this side of the Titanic to this side of the Titanic.
They feel accomplished, don't
they?
Yes. Yes. You know what else is feeling a great feeling of accomplishment is loading up your car, driving to Goodwill, driving to Salvation Army, driving to the People City Mission, and unloading it and driving home with an empty car. And you know what? I bet you're not even going to miss or even remember what it is that you donated, because then you can go home and you can look at that little empty corner that you emptied out. And maybe it is just a corner. Maybe you're chipping away at an iceberg here, more Titanic references, but you're maybe making just little steps towards your goal. But when you can come home and you can know that you just dropped off 5 big garbage bags of clothing at the People City Mission, boy, your closet's going to feel a lot lighter.
I want to return to your closet. Is that a good first place to start?
I think that's a great place to start. Absolutely. You know, and something that a lot of organizers recommend is emptying out all of the closets. And then what I say is put all the items into categories. So put all your T-shirts in one category, all your sweaters in one pile, all your pants in one pile, because then it will open your eyes to see just how many pairs of pants do you have. And do you need 17 pairs of pants? No, probably not. If all of us had even 10 pairs of pants, that would be more than enough. Okay. So that goes back to the power of counting, which is another tactic that I encourage people to use. And you can read all about all of my resources and tips and tricks on my website, EasyRightsizing.com. On EasyRightsizing.com, there's a tab and you can click on worksheets and resources. And one of those worksheets is called The Power of Counting. And that's actually where I lead people through this exercise of maybe starting in their closet and actually going through and counting. How many T-shirts do I have? And do I need 37 T-shirts? Or would 20 be more than sufficient? Same thing in the kitchen. How many wine glasses do you really need? If you were to cut your wine glasses in half, would it be easier to organize them and keep them clean and what have you? So everyone kind of has their own trouble spot when it comes to clutter, and maybe it's your closet, maybe it's your office. I mean, I do this, even your email inbox. Now we're talking about digital clutter, but you know, I keep all of these old emails, and the other day I was going through my inbox, and there's some that have been in there for over a year. And the reason they're in there is because I thought I needed to keep them, and I thought, oh, I'm going to, take some action on them or whatever. And once you really go back and look at them, I realized, really, if I just delete this will have no impact on my life. And so that's the same thing as people keeping physical clutter. You think you need to keep these items, but if you were to just get rid of them, it's really not going to have any impact on your life. If you got rid of some of those ratty old T-shirts, Dale, your life is going to be fine.
Oh.
Right? Is that a sore subject
That is
here?
T-shirts. Well, T-shirts. Being in radio, we get T-shirts all the time.
Yes, right. Well, see, there you go. That's all the more reason you need to go through them, because the inflow never stops. So we have to really kind of control that outflow as well.
Also at EasyRightsizing.com are previous conversations.
Absolutely.
We've been at this a while. You've been sharing your experience and expertise.
Yes. I think we started maybe in January of this year. And so we've been doing this all year. And you can listen to all of our old past conversations full of great content. And if you go to EasyRightsizing.com, you click on podcasts and radio episodes, you can listen to all of our old podcasts. And I've also been a guest on a few other shows as well. And I've linked them on that page as well. So EasyRightsizing.com is a great resource for all kinds of information. It's all free. There's videos. If you need some information and inspiration to kind of get you going, because sometimes getting going, most of the time, getting going is the hardest part. So if you need some information and inspiration to get going on your right-sizing journey, that is a great place to start. And, one of my age-old tips is just to start a timer. Okay, so set a timer for 20 minutes and just tell yourself, I'm just going to do this for 20 minutes. And you'll be amazed at how much you get done in 20 minutes. And then at the end of that 20 minutes, you might just feel like, hey, I can keep going for a few more minutes. So I'm here to help inspire you and get you going and get you through this right-sizing process, because you can do it. It's not easy, but it's also not rocket science, right? And you don't need a magic wand. You just need to get in the right frame of mind and take a good, healthy look at the stuff stuff in your house and realize that you only need to keep, you should only keep the stuff that you need, that you use, and that you want. And so many of us have so much stuff in our homes that don't fall into any of those three categories. So let's get it out of our homes, let's bless someone else in the community with it, and let's right-size our life.
Just enough time. We often focus on the home, and it sounds like we're, in the case of my wife, giving her disproportionate grief. But men, too. The garage.
Absolutely.
The garage or the shed. Men listening, there's a lot of junk out there that needs to go someplace.
I mentioned my SCC class earlier in the show, and I'm teaching this class through SCC, and one of my students, he lives on an acreage, and he's got a whole barn full of stuff, okay? And that tends to happen. And there again, you know, whatever your trouble spot is, maybe it is tools, and you look at yourself, at your tools, and you think, okay, have I ever used this? How much room is it taking up? Do I have multiples of something? Now, if my husband is listening, he is going to beg to differ because he claims that, you know, you have to have a perfect tool for any kind of job that comes up, and it makes all the difference. And that's fine as long as you set limits for yourself, okay? That kind of thinking can get out of hand when suddenly you can't park your car in your garage anymore. Right? And so is your clutter impeding on your life? That is the question that I ask my clients a lot. And if it is impeding on your life, then now the clutter is in control. And we don't want the clutter to be in control. We want you to be in control, be the captain of your own ship, and you get to decide what you keep and what you let go of. And if it's not working for you, then let go of it.
And here's an outsider's view. If your husband did decide to put some of those tools up for auction or to sell them, I would just love to be the guy on the outside that goes in and buys one or two of those things. And that's the chain that happens here. What I want to get rid of or need to get rid of, as you said, you bless someone else.
That's
with that
right.
item or that tool.
That's right. That's what happens every week. We do estate sales and online auctions for our clients, and we are just selling the things that our clients no longer need, use, or want, and we're blessing them with someone else who really is excited and can't wait to purchase those items and give them a second life.
Yeah. So for auction information, changingspacessrs.com, and for podcasts and resources, videos, go to easyrightsizing.com, and of course, you're always welcome on Sunday mornings here on KFOR. Thank you, Janine.
Thank you, Dale.
Janine Bryant of Changing Spaces SRS. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Easy Rightsizing.